I want to talk to this gentleman in the white hat right here. I have got a gentleman here that's been kind of hanging around all night, and I've been waiting for the proper moment to kind of connect with him, and I feel like this. I feel immediately drawn to you about this man. Okay, so I want to work with it a little bit. Okay, I've got a gentleman here that would have been a peer to you, either a friend or a peer to you, that would have passed relatively young. Does that make any sense to you at all?
No.
Does somebody in this row understand that? I got to work with this a little bit. I swore I was going directly to you in the white hat.
It's male, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you understand?
No, I was thinking female.
Okay. All right. Let me just kind of work with it a little bit. I got a gentleman here that he reminds me of this gentleman. That's why I'm going to him as well. But I feel like you had a connection with him. He's a good old boy. He's just got a good old boy kind of a look about him and personality. And I feel like that this gentleman died in an accident at a very early age. I feel like I am in the 25, 30-year age with this guy. I do believe that it is an automobile accident. I know this is a very broad statement and it could apply to anybody in the room, but that is what I am feeling with him. And I do feel like I am right. You understand this? Okay, well, not too far off. Do you understand what I have said thus far and how I have described him? That makes sense to you.
Physically?
You get it all. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
And he looks like this kid.
Yes.
All right. Very good. I'm sorry that I keep referring to you in that past tense, but maybe that's why he was. Maybe that's why he was taking me to you, because that's what he was trying to tell me. But I'm not trying to make it fit by any means. But all right, you understand this, please. I have to tell you too that I'm hearing a lot of loud music with him. Do you understand why he would give that to me, please?
Yes.
It's very loud. Like, I feel like this kid would have, excuse me, this kid would have been in his bedroom or in his house, and he would have had the music cranked up, and that was something that he did quite often. Do you understand that? I also want to tell you that he wore hats like this.
Yes.
Backwards.
Yes.
You understand? And the thing about him too is that, how do I want to describe this, David? He was charming. Do you understand that?
Yes.
He charmed people. He charmed women. He charmed men. He flirted with everybody to get his way.
Yes.
Do you understand that? Okay. Because I got to tell you how he's showing me that. He's standing there and he's going, just kind of winking. And when I asked him about that, he said, I was a charmer. He said, he didn't use people, but he's telling me that in order to get what I needed to be charming. Do you understand that? Because he was quite handsome. Do you understand?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I also want to tell you too that I don't feel like this is a child of yours, but I feel like it's got some kind of a connection to you through family, this guy. Does that make sense?
No.
It does not?
No.
He's talking about your family. Hold on one second. Let me sort it out. Thank you, I understand. You have a family, please? You have a family? Like you have kids, you're married,
I do.
all of that? Okay, because I said to him, if you're not connected through the family, then why are you talking to me about family? And he goes, I want to talk about her family.
Okay.
So he's watching what's going on with you in the family right now. Do you have 2 children?
I do.
Okay, and because he's telling me that do you understand how, and kids are like this, I know, but he's telling me that the 2 kids are kind of like polar opposites of each other. Do you understand? They kind of bounce off of each other, and this is amusing him. He's very amused by that.
It would.
All right, so he's watching that and showing that. He's also telling me that when the 2 of you used to hang out, that you used to get in trouble.
Yes.
Do
we
you
did.
understand? Okay. Am I allowed to talk about that?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yes.
You want to know why I said that? Because I smell it. I'm smelling it right now. It actually smells
Am
pretty
I
good.
red?
It makes me want to go to Colorado right now. But he's telling me that you all used to have a good time, is what he's trying to say. Do you understand that? And I feel like the loud music and all of that is kind of in sync with that. Would you understand the two of you going to concerts or places where there were concerts, please? Loud music, and you're all just having a blast. Do you understand that? And I have to say that the evening that he passed, okay, what he wants me to say to you, because I do feel like it happened at night, do you understand that? And he's saying that the evening that he passed, he wants you to know that it went quick. Because he's telling me that people in his family and people were wondering, did he suffer with a because I feel like, and I don't know how to say this other than, I feel like from the waist up, everything was just not good as a result of the accident. Do you understand that? Okay. And he's wanting everybody to know that it went fairly fast. Does that make sense to you?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And he wants you to know that he was a character, let me tell you. He's talking to me about God and faith, and he's telling me that he wasn't quite the religious guy, but he felt like there was some kind of a higher power. I would say that he was kind of agnostic. Do you understand what I mean by that? He believed in something, but he wasn't sure what he believed in.
Right.
Does that make sense to you? And he's wanting me to tell you that the journey that you are on right now to understand your own soul and your own self, he's telling me that that makes him quite happy. Because he's telling me that when he was in the living with you, that you all would have these conversations about it, but that it was awkward. There was an awkwardness to those conversations, meaning at times you both felt like you weren't worthy of that. Does that make sense in some way what I'm trying? I don't know how to describe it other than that. Does that make sense to you? And he's telling me that now that he is on the other side, and I gotta just tell you what he's saying to me. He's saying, bitch, this is real. That's what he's saying to me.
Okay.
Do you understand why he would say it like that?
Yes.
Okay. And he's in awe of where he's at right now. He's in awe of, oh my God, you're not going to believe this when you get here, kind of a thing. He's wanting me to tell you that. He's like, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You can't even fathom it in your mind, is what he's saying to me. And I also want to tell you that I'm hearing Bob Seger. I'm hearing a Bob Seger song. I'm not quite sure which one it is. I'm from Detroit, so I'm a big Bob Seger freak. But I'm hearing that behind me as the music is playing. Do you understand that at all?
No.
I'm just kind of hearing that behind me. But this is where I think I'm at, though. But I'll get back to you in just a second. This guy he had quite a love for you. I just have to say that. And he's telling me that what he wants to say to you is, thank you for being my friend. He said, because I didn't have many when I was in the living. Do you understand that? That he could trust. Because I feel like the circle of people that were around him were just people. Mm-hmm. They weren't his family and his friends. He's referring to you as family.
Yes.
Do you understand why he would say that? And he's saying that by knowing you, he feels comfortable where he is now. Does that make sense to you why he would say that? Mm-hmm. Okay. That's why he's here. Okay? And when I started, I felt him here, and he's been kind of moving around me all night, and he just kept talking about this gentleman in the white hat, and now we understand why, because they kind of favored each other. At first I thought it was connected to him, but then as he started to work with me a little bit, I'm like, well, dude, you look just like this dude,
Yes.
you know? So does that make sense to you?
Yes,
Okay.
very, yeah.
There's a lot of emotion with him because he did not emote well when he was in the living. He kind of kept things to himself, and he's wanting you to know now that he's free of that. Because I feel like, too, that where this gentleman was, his family life was so screwy. Do you understand that? He's telling me he felt out of place at times with people that were around him. Does that make any sense to you why he would say that?
Yeah.
Okay, you're kind of, it doesn't make sense, or it does?
Possibly.
Okay, because he's telling me that he just doesn't, he felt like you were his family. That's
Yes,
that's all I need to say.
okay.
Okay? All right. Thank you for letting me work with you. Let's see if I got any more.